get my feet underneath me and just kind of feel a little bit more comfortable.
So the technique and all that was a little bit more extensive than you would. Is that what you're saying?
Oh yeah, I think the technique's something you just don't really think about with the different types of releases and attacking inside or wide and tap or just trying to beast move and get off of them. It's something that, like I said, you kind of think it's just more about God-given ability when you look at receivers. I guess it's nothing I've ever really broken down and looked at.
Compared to your expectations coming into the move, has it been more difficult, easier, about what you expected?
I think it varies every day. I think there's some days where I go out there and have really good days, and then there's some days like today I don't think I had my greatest day. I think today I kind of overthought some things and kind of went in there thinking one thing was going to happen and something else happens, so you got to be able to react quickly. And I think that it's just one of those things you just get used to it with time. Compared to what I was expecting, I think that I'm probably doing a little bit better than I expected. Didn't really expect to go in and catch balls as well as I have been. I know at the beginning I wasn't doing too great catching, and I think it's just one of those being comfortable things, and it's definitely kind of started to just cool down a little bit.
That's twice you mentioned overthinking. Is that I'm new at it? Because you probably don't never say that at quarterback.
Yeah, well, I think the reason you don't really think about that at quarterback is because me specifically, I've played quarterback since I was in the third grade. So, with my dad being a coach, I was just brought up to, be a quarterback. And so it wasn't one of those things where I was too big in middle school and I got to high school and finally they were like, oh, hey, why don't you try quarterback or something. I was groomed for it. So, I think those things I'd like to be able to develop those instincts over time at receiver as well.
You mentioned getting releases. Is that one of the toughest things that you never had to do previously?
Yes and no. I think one of the harder things is just having linebackers put their hands on you. You go from being quarterback you've never touched in practice, and now you got these 240-pound guys doing everything they can to get you off your landmark, and so that's just something you just learn with. I've done a lot better with using my hands to fight theirs, and so it's just something you just get more and more comfortable with.
Yeah.
With your quarterback background, does that help you kind of get on the same page with your quarterbacks when you're out there running routes, kind of trying to think the same way or like that?
Oh, definitely. I think especially on the routes where you're trying to read things, whether it's something coverage-wise or say, for instance, like a seam read with a too-high safety. If you got to carve it under the safety, well, you got to give the quarterback some sort of a hint that, okay, here he goes. So you got to kind of break out and then cut underneath. And so you got to give him some sort of indication that, all right, now the ball needs to be out. And so I think those are the kinds of things where, you just, with being a quarterback, you have the background with it, so you're able to kind of pick it up on the fly and understand what's going on.
If you could go back and start over and you were a receiver in high school, you think you'd be good at it if that's all you played?
Well, yeah. I think anyone that's going to have more experience is obviously going to be better than they would be rather than just starting day one. I think it would have been something I did in high school. I definitely would have focused on it a lot more. I was never asked to be a quick twitch guy. I was a roll out of the pocket guy, so I had some speed to me, but I was never asked to really shake anyone out of their shoes or anything. And so it's just one of those things, like I said, with practice and just doing it over and over again, you get more and more comfortable with it.
Now that you've been out of that quarterback room for a couple weeks, you miss it?
Oh yeah, of course. It's one of those things where as a quarterback, everyone kind of just looks at you as you're a leader whether you like it or not. You don't really have a choice. You're going to be the person the eyes are always on. There's a reason when you come in the game, they announce who the quarterback is. And, they don't see them rotate in a receiver or a linebacker and they stop the game to announce that there's been a substitution at safety, It's being a quarterback's a big deal. So, you like that stuff. And like I said, I grew up doing it, and that was always my dream. But, dreams come and go. You got to really learn to, grab something that you really love, and I really love football.
You don't strike me as a guy who is overly concerned about what the fans think or getting announced, at the start of the game when the offense comes in or something like that. But is there a part of you that just goes, man, that was kind of fun being the center of attention?
No one's going to tell you that they don't like that, Yeah. It's going to, when someone makes you feel good about yourself, you're going to enjoy it, But I think it's just one of those things, it felt great, and it was fun, and it's a great experience, and I don't regret anything, And do I miss it? Of course you're going to miss it, but it's just that was an old part of your life.